Drover, come this way. Okay. Over here. I need you to stand. So anytime I'm trimming up hind end, I'm gonna brush it flat and then just kind of ruffle it a little bit, how it's naturally gonna sit. I'm gonna take my straight curved shears, and for him, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to trace the line. You can kind of see he already has it established here. I'm gonna trace this line and give it its nice, gentle curvature back. I'm not taking a lot off at a time because you can always take more. Then I'm going to come around and just check my line here. So I want more of a curvature to it. I'm going to tuck the bottom in. And just kind of come in to meet that bottom line. I'm going to do the same on the inside. I'm going to give it a nice curvature so it looks nice and smooth. Mac, what you doing? And then I'm just going to kind of gently shape a little bit more. Again, coming down to meet that tuck. And making sure that my tuck is even all the way around. The nice thing about curved shears is that they kind of create a nice curve for you as you go up, so you don't have to do a whole lot with the actual shaping part, especially if you happen to get a pair of shears that kind of have the curvature that you want anyways, like these do for Drover. So I've got a nice loaf here, and I'm going to make sure that I kind of neaten up along his little tail, and I'm just taking the edges of the hair off. Up here I don't have Ruckus. I don't want to get too crazy, especially because he's got a short little nub in here. I'm just going to kind of trace the curvature of his little nub and just give it a polished look. Kind of fluff it out a little bit to how it's going to more naturally lay. He's still a little damp. So I'm just going for, again, that nice kind of smoothed out look. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Hold on, buddy. I know. Can you stand up for me, please? Thank you. My goal is always to try to make these pretty even as much as possible so he doesn't look like he's got one butt cheek larger than the other. And once you get one done, you have a pretty good guide for the other. And once I'm done getting my general shape, I'm going to go back through with my comb and kind of fluff it up and jiggle it back out. And I like to kind of neaten up their underside a little bit too, just again, to give it a nice polished look. So you don't have a nice trimmed up backside and then a ratchet underside. I know, baby. Oh, good boy. And I do try to take length off in long lines in this direction or this direction. Can you stand? Robert, you pop yourself up? I know. It just kind of gives you more consistency and it'll blend together better. Okay, so I've got my general shape. I'm gonna go through and comb them out, get rid of loose hair, kind of fluff them up a little bit. And I brush him back down by hand to try to simulate how it's gonna look when he fluffs his own butt. We've got some asymmetry going on here. And especially on a neutered male. Trevor, can you stand up, please? You want to be very careful because they do still have a scrotum and you certainly don't want to nick that. That would not be very pleasant. Come on. And the more practice you get, the easier this will be and the more even they'll come out. Okay, so I'm gonna turn him. Okay. There we go. So you can see I've got my loaf look here. You can see it's a little choppy, so I'm gonna go in with thinning shears that look like this. And I'm just gonna kind of feather that in so that it blends really nicely. Less choppiness. And these you don't have to be quite as ginger with. Because they're not going to take a lot of hair at a time. They're just thinning out the ends to blend it in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and brush them down again. See where I need to do a little bit better blending. And for me, it tends to always be right in here. But that's because I like my dogs to look nice and polished. So I'm a little bit more anal retentive about it. Okay. And now you can see, you stand up one more time. Good boy. That we have a nice polished loaf. See?